What's up, guys? Are you tired of actually switching the weights in your home gym because you have to unscrew the weights, screw them back on again? It's just too much work, literally. Well, I might have a solution for your problem because BrainGain has actually made some dumbbells that will make your workout far more efficient than it already is. And today we're going to talk about, are they worth the high price that they are? Will I send them back because I'm not satisfied? Let's go and see. So BrainGain sells those dumbbells here in two color variations. You can get them in black with a plastic coating, or you can also get them in chrome. I opted for the black version pretty much because I was a bit scared that the clear coat would go off on the chrome ones over time and then I would have some surface rust, and I just didn't like the thought of that, so I went with the black ones. I bought the 41.5 kilogram set for around 700 euros. The price varies a bit depending on the color. If you don't need as much weight as the 41.5 kilogram dumbbell, then you can also get a 32.5 kilogram set, or you could also get a 23.5 kilogram set if that suits you more. One thing I'd like to note is that you need to assemble all of the parts that come, because you're going to get 5 boxes and you need to add all the single weights into the station. So just to let you know, it's not difficult to assemble, but it's just quite a lot. Now that the formalities are done, how does the mechanism actually work? And the mechanism is actually pretty simple, because all you have to do to switch the weights in 1.5 kilogram steps is to turn the handle of the dumbbell. So far I haven't had any problems with this mechanism. One important thing to say is you can only change the weights in the base that is meant for the weights. So you can't just change the weights on the spot, you need to put the dumbbell back into the base station. Next up, the quality. I have to say I haven't had any big issues with the quality, but because it is a plastic coating, you have to keep in mind that over time it will probably be damaged in a bit. I've had a few spots on my dumbbells, not big ones, but they still are there, and that is just normal wear and tear, because of course my other dumbbells also were slammed on the ground, and then over time you just get more and more marks. But I think you can't really blame the dumbbell makers for that. Quality wise, I think they are great so far. The weights of course are made of some sort of steel or metal and then coated in a plastic coating which is black, and it doesn't smell bad. I've heard for some other dumbbells that they do smell weird. This is not the case with those, but the one thing that may be a weak point could be the mechanism, because I'm not sure if it is actual metal gears behind this or if it is all plastic. I'm guessing it is all plastic, so we're gonna have to see if this holds up. So far, again, I have not had any problems, but I've just been using them for a few months. But of course, just like any other review, I will keep you updated in the comments. So if this would break after 1 year, I'd let you know in the comments. So check out the comments and see if anything has changed. Other than that, of course, the grip is good. I can't complain. It is like riffled in a way, and it is also made of metal. The rest of the dumbbell looks like plastic to me. The base station is mostly plastic, everything but the metal poles that you can see. I think they could improve a little bit on that, but it's not that it looks ugly or particularly cheap, but it doesn't feel crazy high quality to me. But that is just a small minus point. Let's talk about safety. Do I feel safe training with those dumbbells? I have to say I do feel very safe training with the dumbbells, because I trust the mechanism, because as you can see, the actual weights, they lock into each other. So you see here, this top part locks into the next one, so I don't really have the fear of this thing dropping on my head. I do have a little itty bitty fear in case somebody would be spotting me, because at the end of the day the mechanism works by having those little boxes here pushed in. You see here on both sides of the dumbbell they are. If those are pushed in and then the handle is rotated, the weight will change. My little fear scenario in my head is that somebody spotting me and accidentally pushes the button, I accidentally turn the handle, and then the weight would change. This is my fear. I think it is a bit irrational, but nonetheless, I would school everybody who is about to spot me or who is about to use those dumbbells that you should be mindful about where you are actually holding the dumbbells, just so you don't accidentally push in this button that will release the weights. Again, I think it is an unrealistic scenario, but I want to say it nonetheless. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of the BrainGain dumbbells. First of all, I like the look. I think I said it before, but I still want to say it again. The look looks clean. It looks much more orderly than my old dumbbells. Next up, the quality is also good. The mechanism works well, and I can actually quickly adjust the weight between my workouts, so I can actually use my pauses as pauses and not as, oh, I'm just gonna need to have to switch my weights quickly, because that is oftentimes how my breaks in between the sets looked like. That is of course not optimal. The speed is great, the mechanism works great, they look great, but the only thing I don't like is the price. I think the price is a bit out of proportion if we remember what we're talking about again, because we're talking about dumbbells. We're not talking about a high-tech thing. We're talking about some metal stuff. Of course, there's a mechanism behind it. Of course, there's marketing behind it. Of course, there are engineers behind it. But at the end of the day, I think the price is a bit high. For me personally, it is still worth the money because I don't go to the gym. I fully train from at home. So if I were to pay like 30 euros a month for 2 years, I would be at around 700 euros. So I am willing to pay this premium price for this premium product. So this is exactly what I needed to progress properly. If you are fully training from at home and you want to have some dumbbells that work well and that enable you to train harder than ever, then I can only tell you to go get those. Even if the dumbbells have a premium price, I think it is worth it actually, because there are not many things where I would be ready to spend that much money on, but because this is actually for my health, I think there's not much more where we'll have a bigger return on investment than this. So go on, get the dumbbells, train hard from at home. If you don't want to spend as much money, check out the used marketplaces. I think you can also find some good deals on there. If you want to buy them, check out the link. I'll link the item below. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in building your home gym in general, I made a whole video going over my errors that I made. So in case you are interested in building your home gym, check it out, because you will make far more gains than I did in a shorter time frame if you follow the tips in this video. Other than that, check out this video because YouTube thinks it might be a better fit for you. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're planning to lose weight, build muscle, get your six packs from at home. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.